Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Chronicles. This is your host, Christian Paul speaking. Alright? This following episode here contains graphic content that may not be suitable for definitely children and some other viewers involved, which could involve graphic language, visual graphic content, and or both. Viewer discretion is advised.
You know girls don't like big, right?
Shut up and listen. Is that
Make a Wish Kid donated $1. I've been in a wheelchair for 15 years, Aiden, and my friend just showed me your stream tonight. I just wanted to say thank you for making me get out of my wheelchair to turn your stream off.
You're a fucking asshole, bro. You're a fucking asshole, bro. Nah, that's not even... You're an asshole, bro. That's not even cool.
Oh, that's funny.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news coming from Romania about a week ago. And we found out that the judge from the Andrew and Tristan Tate human trafficking case, along with two other defendants, the Tate's personal assistants, right? They granted an extension of the detention of all four, I repeat, four defendants for another month. And what the current prosecutors are basically doing, ladies and gentlemen, they are trying to extend this extension up to the max as slowly, as long as possible to try to get the Tate's personal assistants to mainly squeal in order to get both Andrew and Tristan Tate mainly bagged up. You know what I mean? And again, Christian Paul is speaking, you know, the socially awkward nerd, you know, the super beta male sim certified as hell, you know what I mean, with no game whatsoever, extremely socially awkward, however it may be. I'm here to actually break this news down to you due to the fact of all the craziness going down and to basically show how prosecutors can be extremely egotistical and wicked at the same time. And I'll give credit to Andrew Tate on this one. A lot of courts and even every government has like a corrupt element to it. Every country has a dark element to it. Because you do have a lot of politicians, especially with prosecutors and judges, with the addition of law enforcement that could be extremely corrupt to the point of borderline wicked or even extremely wicked, right? And they have that element in every single country, unfortunately. You know, there's like, for example, there are cases where you see like a lot of cameras where you see the perpetrator actually have visible evidence of them doing the crime. Yet the prosecutors choose not to indict them, or they'll try to use grand juries to mainly shield themselves from actually convicting them in the first place, so they can try to withhold certain evidence from the laws actually violated, so they to try and make sure they let that perpetrator go. We've seen that happen, and we've also seen prosecutors and judges play their part in railroad cases where, you know, we have all these false accusations going on between people of all races that getting hemmed up in jail. You know, with the Bill Cosby situation, you know, especially nearly with the whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp situation as well. There's been some white dudes that also have been dudes with disabilities that have been hemmed up, literally around my area, that have been serving time over crimes that they did not commit. Unfortunately, due to this whole ordeal due to the wickedness and corruption that's been going on in this system in the U.S. And there are other corrupt systems in other countries that are just like this. You know, the Tates think that just because they're going to a country that's like more lenient when it comes to laws and regulations, you know, that doesn't really give them an excuse for them literally to try to actually self-subsist on criminal activity and brag about all the criminal stuff they done and did on social media, which makes them more vulnerable to all governments all over the world, right? And I do have a video, ladies and gentlemen, of Mr. Bruce Rivers, the certified criminal defense attorney from the state of Minnesota, actually breaking down the case as well, which we'll actually dig into further detail on. Let's get right into it. Here's Bruce Rivers.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board certified, that's B-O-A-R-D, certified criminal defense lawyer. Today we're reacting to the gift that keeps on giving, Mr. Andrew Tate. But before we do, this is brought to you by eSign.com.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I know they got the little promos going on. I'll get that out the way here. Boom.
Now, so we're reacting to some news. A Romanian judge has just granted a request by the prosecutors to extend the stay of his little palace that he's got there for another 30 days. But not just for him, for all four. And they're likely to appeal this ruling. And so my guess is that when they appeal the ruling,
all right, so I thought wrong. Judge didn't actually approve it. I'll take fault in this one. But the prosecutors are actually requesting like a month extension. Right, that part I know is actually remain true, but he didn't grant it just yet. So, for those that actually made the add-on initially, I thoroughly apologize. But still, the prosecutors are doing everything that they possibly can to make sure that all four of these defendants actually serve 6 months in detention, so you get those 2 ladies to squeal. That's what it's basically about. They are so petty and possibly wicked. All right, let's go roll.
Saying this is why it's necessary, or maybe they don't. But here's what this extended detention does. This extended detention allows, number one, allows them to continue their investigation, which they're going to do, but it also sweats the smaller players.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got 4 people, 2 of them are women. So he's got his brother, who's probably not going to snitch on him, and then you've got these 2 women. The 2 women are going to sweat. You watch. I'd be shocked if they didn't start snitching on him. A spokesperson for the Romanian anti-organized crime agency, DICOT, told the Associated Press that the prosecutors requested a 30-day extension to keep all 4 in detention while the investigation.
Oh, so he did approve it Friday.
Now.
Oh shoot, I was right. I was goddamn fucking right. I jumped myself the gun too soon. I take that shit back. So, all 4 defendants are literally serving 1 more month in jail. God damn!
Now, Andrew Tate's lawyers, remember they had that initial 30 days and they appealed it and lost. And they're calling this an outrage. A lawyer for the Tate brothers said he considered the ruling on Friday totally unjustified. Only an hour ago, the session was closed and the file had 20 volumes, he said. I find it very hard to believe that someone has physical capacity to study the files in such a short time as only yesterday it reached the tribunal. In other words, the judge certainly couldn't have looked at everything and ruled that fast. So Andrew Tate's got somebody posting for him on Twitter. I don't know if he's got a device in there that he can do that or if somebody else is doing it for him. But I'm in detention as they look for evidence.
Somebody's tweeting on his behalf. Or unless they allow the cell phones to come in so it's do all the tweeting for him. Right? But it's either someone's actually tweeting on his behalf while he's in jail or the remaining intents to allow phones to actually come by. One or the other.
They will never find because we are not guilty. They have and will continue to ignore and throw away any and all testimony or hard evidence that we are innocent. Boy, you know, when you're sitting there,
arrogance,
you're egging them on. And one of the things about prosecutors, they're petty. So you start criticizing them, they get motivated. You know, federal prosecutors in almost every jurisdiction are motivated as hell. FBI agents are motivated as hell. When you have the Romanian prosecutors and you put out public statements,
they're corruption free, as we all know.
You know, my case isn't about truth. This is about politics. It just isn't a smart play. That's my client. I'm telling you, shut the fuck up. Keep your mouth shut. Let's keep under the radar. Don't give them any ammunition. Because that's what he's doing by opening his mouth. Now, we have seen a lot of comments about one of the past videos that we did. And we were able to get a video that I don't think anybody else had. And let me tell you something else. We have a lot more of those. So if you'd like to see some more of that stuff, let me know, because we can react to it. And I think it's instructive to show who he is as a person.
Boom.
Look at everything he's saying with a critical. It's self-snitching. 100%. And if you're saying it's just a persona, well, it's his own statements. And whether he was serious or not, it's coming into court. Period. His own video, and the judge has already used his own videos in determining whether or not he was going to detain him. So when you sit there and you criticize where he talks about how corrupt Romania is, how easy it is to bribe a guard. I'm just going to walk into jail and I'm going to, and they'll be eating out of my hand.
Put me in jail. I'm gonna walk in there with a pile of money like this. Guards.
They're not eating out of his hand right now. And he's calling this a travesty of justice. But you got to understand where Romania is and where Romania's place in the world is right now. You know, they were an Eastern Bloc country, but they're part of a developing body of countries who are part of a UN compact on human trafficking. So they are trying to improve their judicial system. They're trying to improve their position in the world. And this is a very high-profile case.
They fucked us up, basically.
Succumb to somebody like this, you know, they're going to be highly motivated to do it right and to make sure that he's prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Do I take glee in knowing that the top G is out there? No. I don't really like anybody doing jail time. You know, and I'm a defense lawyer. But he, by his own words, has criticized the Romanian government, said he went there to avoid law enforcement in London, and how easy it was because they're all corrupt there. Well, he's made a big mistake. He's made a very huge miscalculation.
Right there.
And that is going to bite him in the ass. And it has bitten him in the ass with the 7 passports and everything else he said. So, and this isn't just my conjecture. With all eyes on Romania, on this very high profile case, they're going to want to get it right. So as Andrew Tate sits in this Romanian jail, who gets to see him? His lawyer's team gets to see him, and he put the 5 other people on his list. And one of those people is the popular streamer Aiden Ross. And Aiden Ross, I'm just looking at a picture of him now. I mean, he's trying to look like him. I mean, it's just kind of... You ever seen the movie Single White Female? Watch that movie and think about this. This is just really weird. But his lawyer cast doubt on whether Aiden's going to be able to go there. Aiden says he's got a trip to Romania planned. We'll see if he actually gets in to see him. The lawyer says, I don't think he's going to come. And here's the thing. If I were him, your mom, your sister, you know, somebody for support, sure. Everything you say to them is going to be recorded. And if you try to get a statement out there, that's going to be a problem for his defense. So every word that comes out of your mouth that's not on the fucking stand is not something that should happen, because it is
used against you. Your
own words come into court, and his own words are going to kick his ass. So this is just our little update on Mr. Tate. And if you're...
Juicy! Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have some... We just, as we saw what went down over the past 10, 12 some minutes, very juicy information, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be interesting in the months to come to see how this whole thing gonna go, depending on whether or not there's gonna be trial based for all 4 of them, or is there gonna be trial for mainly 2, right? So this is gonna be a very interesting journey in the months to come. Juicy! Hey, I tell y'all, but you know, irrespective of all this, all that still probably would have been hidden if the Tates had come out and become that arrogant and post all this stuff of being braggadocious and way too cocky, extremely arrogant to the point where he talk about beyond criminal shit. You know what I mean? More than likely they would not even be in this position. Had they laid low most of the time, And I understand a lot of people mainly fuck with the Tates and everything because of the ideals, which I fully understand. And unfortunately, some could get repellents as well. You know, incels basically try and deal with them as well just because they want to try and live vicariously through them. You know, like how they actually had their views forward and all that other stuff, and how they mainly feel. They focus more specifically on that instead of the other angles that the Tates mainly discuss on the other ideals that they mainly talk about, right? Which I can understand that aspect as well. I don't agree to the whole incel part. That's something I don't like about it. But they have you thinking. But the things that I just don't really like about them is their arrogance and them really self-sticking on themselves and how they put themselves in their own position. That's the only reason why I'm mainly upset at them for. It's not like the actual case itself, because unfortunately we don't really know for sure whether he's guilty or innocent. As I've said before, we'll let the case play out. We'll see what the prosecutors do. We'll see what the judges do to see if are they actually gonna try and get this right, or they're gonna railroad the whole case. Right? And that's yet to be seen. We will find out in the months to come. So, my work is done. Alright? Y'all have a blessed beginning of the week, however it may be. Christian Paul from the Nerd Chronicles is signing out. Gone!
4, 3, 2. Now look, before I show y'all the full, you know what I'm saying, at the full baldness, I want to know right now, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, chat, it is, I went bald, bro, I went bald, man, I had, you know what I'm saying, chat, I'm bald, you know what I'm saying, chat, so, I want to let y'all know, bro, I did that shit.